Hey Mo, we need to get an intro down for this channel, you know.
Yeah, but what are you thinking, Lee?
Why don't I rap over the top of it?
Don't be ridiculous. You sound like a northern Eminem.
Look, listen to me. Yo, yo, yo. The Munch Brunch in the house, man.
Absolutely not.
Right, what you got in mind?
Let's just keep it simple.
I'm Lee.
I'm Aim.
We're the Munch.
Hi everyone and welcome back to another mukbang with Aim and Lee. We are the Munch Brunch UK. Lee, tell them what we have on the menu today.
Hey Mo, we have a homemade recipe, well, out of a Maggie bag really. We have sweet and sticky Mexican chicken.
Probably best looking at mine because it's my one's got all the ingredients.
Ames has all the peppers and colourful stuff in there.
So I made this with chicken, peppers, onions. That's it really. Like Lee said, it's a Maggie bag. It's a Mexican sticky thing. Really good.
Sticky and sweet Mexican chicken. We've got some savoury rice. I was going to do Mexican rice, but there was no point because we already had the savoury on the go. Bit of boiled rice, some skin on chips, homemade, and some salad. And Aim is now going to tell you.
I'm not having the skin on chips, and I'm going to tell you why.
I've never heard anything like it. Such drama.
No, really, this is the truth. So normally, you know, when you go to Five Guys or whatever, they got the skin on fries.
That's how they do it.
We have a big bag of potatoes, like we get them from our local shops, like a sack of potatoes, and they're really dirty.
Got some wraps as well.
I'm just going to show you one.
You just didn't take me dinner away, Aim?
Look at the jar. Lee didn't wash the mud off the potatoes.
Hold on.
No, Lee, there's no getting around this one, love. You're supposed to scrub the potatoes like you would if it was a jacket potato.
You know when I do, I never wash jacket potatoes ever, I.
No, because they're already cleaned.
Yeah, but when I do homemade chips, I normal
You peel them, Lee. You don't eat the skin, do you?
I just think.
There's no way around it. Just give up.
But you don't have to worry. You're not eating it, Aim, so it's all good in the hood.
Oh, and we've got some wraps as well.
I can never make a decent wrap. I mean, isn't it
Do you want me to make you one?
No. The problem I have with wraps is when they're the homemade ones, they never stay together. If you go
you can do it.
I can't. If you go to like a restaurant, like a Mexican restaurant, something like that, you get like decent wraps and they wrap it for you. It's, oh, that's never going to fall apart. You could literally have a food fight with them and they'll stay together.
Like burrito. I have a bit of coleslaw as well.
Pick mine up, it's just going to fall apart on you. But yeah, anyways, that's what we got for dinner, guys. Sweet and sticky Mexican chicken with a bit and a few odds and ends.
Oh, look at that for a ring of onion.
I made this, guys, whilst I was asleep. So I was like, I'm knackered, I've done enough for today. I need a nap. And I went and laid on the other settee. And
all the dogs basically.
Like Dr. Dolittle.
Yeah, all the dogs decided to go and lie on Lee. It's quite entertaining, so I took a picture.
It's quite comfy, to be fair.
But, yeah. So I was a bit sort of freaked out by the chips. Sorry about that, Lee. You usually make really good. My mum calls Lee's chips the world's biggest chips. Because he makes... I mean, these are quite relatively small considering for Lee.
Well.
But I couldn't do it, guys.
Well, I'll have the last laugh, because when they're amazing, you'll be regretting it.
I just thought you would have known to have washed the skin.
She was like, you're going to eat pesticides.
I said, you did...
That's going to fall apart.
No, it's not.
This will be interesting. I just made a massive wrap here. Filled with chicken and salad and... You pain in the arse. Look at the difference in quality. Mine just looks like some bread scrunched together.
I said to you, I'll make you a wrap. And you said,
balls to you. You got fancy colours there, don't you? I don't do pink stuff. No food should be pink. Well, beetroot, that's nice. That's purple though, ain't it?
Red onion. Mm.
How are we all? I don't know if this will be the first video you've seen from us in a while. It won't be the last. This is the second video we've done today.
Wait till you get your food.
It just depends which video goes out first. Will depend on which one you see first, clearly. So this is the first video you've seen from us in ages. Welcome back. If it's the second video you've seen from us in the last couple of days, hello again.
I think we should put this one out first myself.
Okay.
Yeah, so you know we've been gone for a little while. It's been about a week and a couple of days, something like that.
2 weeks now.
The first week Tia had COVID, as you all know, because that's when we was getting back into the video. She kindly passed that on to the entire family. However, we was getting back into the videos, things were sort of getting back to normal, and then, well, I'll let Lee take over from here, because we had a bit of bad news. But unfortunately, Lee's got a...
You can eat your food.
No, it's disrespectful. Now, come on.
It's not disrespectful, because I'm only going to talk about it for a minute or two. So, we're on Wednesday today. A week Monday just gone. So it's been like 9 days now, give or take. We lost my granddad. No, we haven't like misplaced him. He passed away.
I'm sorry you can't
I can say
that.
my granddad will find out. He's got good humour. My granddad did. Anyway, my granddad passed away. So on the Sunday night, I called him, and he's old. He's in his 80s. Not very good health, but all right.
Awful health, bless him.
Yeah, but to the point where he was all right. He was telling me he was watching a film and he had to go have some supper and whatnot. And that was at 8:30 on the Sunday, and 8:30 on the Monday morning.
You had a feeling though, didn't you?
Oh, the night before.
Yeah.
So Aim always says to me, occasionally I'd put off ringing him. Not in an horrible way. It's just there were a lot of conversation. He couldn't always talk too well. And I think, it's all right, I'll ring him again in a couple of days rather than on that day. And on that, I used to ring him on a Sunday about between 8 and 9. And I thought to myself, I was letting the dogs out. I was like, Aim always says, you never know, what's around the corner. You might not be here tomorrow. It's one of the famous sayings about people. You never know when they're going to go, sort of thing.
Well, anything can happen. Always thought, if you put something off and you don't need to, then...
Yeah. So I rang him that night and we had a little chat for like 5 minutes or so. And then 8:30 the next morning, I get a call from him when I'm going out the front door. Some bad news. I knew what it was straight away. And he'd passed away that morning.
Lee's mum and obviously Bob found him on the living room floor, didn't they?
Not nice at all.
But one good thing we will say is that over the last couple of years, you've probably heard us saying that Lee's gran has been to hospital for this. And one thing he would definitely not have wanted was to go into hospital and pass away there. So, as unfortunate as it was, because he had one of them buzzer things that you press it, he pressed that. But it was quick. It ended up being a heart attack and renal failure. So it would have been a quick
he really wasn't very well, but he's not in pain now. So the main thing. Now we're going to move on from that because we've got sun coming in and affecting our video. We don't want to make this a sad video.
But that's the reason why we've been away.
Yeah. This weekend we'll take you with us to do a little vlog on our journey and stuff. We're going to do little bits and pieces.
We're off to Morecambe to go and help out with preparations and stuff like that.
Get the house.
So I've stopped eating it for you, and you.
I told you can eat. My granddad would want you to eat.
Sure.
Is there anyone else's grandparents that you can relate to this? Because I'm not so much your grandparents, but your own parents sometimes. Funky foods from which used to be fashionable, as in it was acceptable to eat them. I mean, Aim's pulling a face at potatoes that haven't been washed. My granddad, I'd be sitting there when I was a young boy for my lunch. Right, Gran, can I have jam sandwich or something like that for my lunch? Whatever it was, I'd have it. What's that funny smell, Gran? My granddad would walk in, sit next to me. What are you eating, Grandad? Kipper sandwiches.
Yeah, bread and butter. Kippers.
Oh my, they stunk to high hell.
Your mum made me them with scrambled eggs on my 30th birthday.
Giddy God.
But, you think that's bad. My granddad used to have brain sandwiches.
Wasn't that just like faggots, Mr. Brains?
No, it was brain, actual animal brain on bread and butter.
What animal?
I didn't ask.
Well, if it's an intelligent animal, that could have the purpose of making you more intelligent. If it's a dumb animal, like a badger...
Well, anyway, my granddad used to eat that.
These chips are good, you know. Watch that, look at that, the skin on that.
They're black. Deep fried mud. Oh, God, Lee, sure about this.
Lovely. Well. So, you're all good anyways. Got lots to talk about. Not a lot has happened. Well, I say not a lot's happened. Last week was mega stress. Like the whole week.
It was the whole 2 weeks, wasn't it, though?
Yeah, but last week, since with my granddad, so it wasn't so much my granddad passing away. That was the easy part. It was everything that came with it. It was just seemed every single day there was a new stress.
God. I am not kidding you. I mean, obviously we won't go into the boring details, but it was one thing after another. For instance, Lee's granddad and his gran sorted out all their policies and everything like that. You know, what he wants, the will. And the blooming solicitors that they was using had sold up and moved somewhere else. Jill didn't have a clue what to do.
I think it's during COVID. Like the solicitors probably just went out of business. So, they got a will and everything else, funeral plans. and don't know where the hell the will is, because we were a solicitor, that's not in the town anymore. Well, all that's done, but I don't deal with stress very well. So I like people...
Lee went into a meltdown. When I tell you, I have never in my life seen this lad like it. It wasn't, like I said, it wasn't just your granddad, was it? It was everything. Honestly, if that was going to go wrong, it went wrong last week and the week before.
But people who have like stressful lives and sit up, like Elon Musk, I don't think he's that stressed, you know.
He's just bought Twitter, he has.
Yeah, he put a tweet out. So he bought it, and today, I think it was, or yesterday, he's like, right, I've bought Twitter, now I'm going to delete Twitter. I don't think he is, obviously. He's like, and then next is Facebook. And then he said something along the lines of, it's time to go outside and actually live your life, as opposed to get off Twitter and Facebook, which I found quite humorous.
He wants to change it up, doesn't he? Because my mum was telling me he's all about, like, freedom of speech and that.
Oh, yeah, you don't want people to be restricted in what they say. Not in a bad way. You don't want like people saying horrible stuff, but you don't want also like people to be able to hide behind fake accounts and stuff. Like you have to send off like your passport or something or to get an account. Whereas now you can have like 50 accounts and say all sorts of horrible stuff to people.
Yeah, like trolls.
And never be held accountable. I'll tell you who's been held accountable. Amber Heard. Have you heard some of the stuff?
I've been watching it.
So RT's watching it. She's mad on this Johnny Depp thing. Bloody
Don't
hell.
say the nasty bit, like, straight him. You all know what the nasty bit is, but I will stop eating. What a fucking psycho.
Yeah, so I was listening to something this morning on a podcast where they was playing clips of it. And you had like Johnny Depp who said, so I went downstairs and in the thing...
What?
In the interview thing, in the court, he's like, yes... I can't even say the words, but there was like...
Yeah, we know.
Something, delivery. He's like, that's how he described it. I'm going to say, because a lot of people don't know what I'm about. She pooed in the bed and then blamed it on the dogs. And then he was in the court and he said, yes, I discussed... The thing is with Johnny Depp, if you listen to his court interviews, so it always sounds like he's acting. Like, he's hasn't got like an acting voice. If you watch him in a film... For not so much Pirates of the Caribbean, but anything where he plays a serious role.
I disagree, because the other day when I was listening to it, I thought he sounded like he was very, like, human, so to speak. Like, I don't really know what to say. It was just all a bit mad. Whereas when he's playing like Jack Sparrow, it's all scripted.
Oh no, the Jack Sparrow. I'm not comparing to Pirates of the Caribbean roles. You watched The Secret Window recently with him, where he plays a writer who's gone a bit nuts. That man, that character he plays in that, it sounds very similar to how he does in real life. And he was there, like, sounding very serious, like, yes, I discovered the fecal delivery, and then I went downstairs to ask her about it. I was like, you sound like you're in a movie, mate. It's not very believable. I do believe him, because she's a really nutter. But he didn't sound that believable. But some of the stuff that's gone on between them, so she said, like, he hit her, and then she used this particular makeup to cover up the next day. By all accounts, from what I've been heard, or what I've heard, that makeup wasn't available. It had never been made back then. So there's no way she could have used that makeup to cover up the bruises.
What makeup was it? I didn't hear
I don't know what bloody makeup it is. I just heard today that they've been proved in court. The makeup she said she used to cover up the bruises wasn't a thing back then. It wasn't ever made before when that happened.
I just don't understand why she'd want to do all this court thing when this could possibly all come out in the wash. My goodness. Never tried this. Lovely.
She used to be with Elon Musk years ago. They were going to get married or something or other back in like 2013. Well, no, he's a bit funky as well. He's got 7 kids, but the one he's with at the minute, the missus, they're not like... They think they was going to get divorced, now they're sort of like an open relationship or something.
She's very acquired dress sense, isn't she, that girl?
Oh, yeah. I've seen little bits of it and stuff in the interviews and whatnot. But yeah, Amber Heard, nutter on the loose. Beware.
The thing is, though, it's seriously going to put people off, being with this girl.
Well, she moved half of everybody mates in there. So he had like a lot of different rooms and apartments on his land where he lived. He's like, yes, so like Deirdre moved in. And then like the lawyer said, and how long was Deirdre there? He says, I don't know. I just don't know. She was just there. And did Deirdre ever pay any rent? Not that I recall. And then next thing you know, then Kevin moved in. And then they go through the same rigmarole. And there's like 7 mates that she moved in into like these different penthouses and suites and all this other stuff on his property. And they're all just living there for free.
I'd be a little bit cross about that.
I'd be a little bit cross if I was him. I'd look at myself and how the hell did I not realise I was literally letting all these people live here for free? Because he was here, there and everywhere. I'm not always there. He didn't even know they'd been living there for 6 months at a time, some of them. Bloody crazy stuff.
So, also, about Mike Tyson.
Mm-hmm.
Smacking someone up on the plane. And do you know that a lot of people said, I can't believe he was in economy. I thought he'd be in first class.
I know he's not got as much money as he used to have. So he used to be worth like hundreds of millions, Mike Tyson. I heard a little bit about him today where they checked out his worth. And if it's accurate anyway, he's only worth about, say only, Christ, what might be worth this, about 3 million quid these days. But that's why he's not in business class.
I got nothing on us.
Never. At least £3.50 in our bank account.
6.2 billion, mate. But I'll talk about the last couple of weeks, and especially the end of this week. As you all know, I've got to think about like anxiety and health anxiety and all that. I'm about to sit there with my mum on several occasions this week discussing her funeral.
Mm-hmm.
So not only we had Lee's granddad's death, we've got to go to the funeral, sort out his house and everything like this. My mum and dad have booked their Simplicity Pure Cremations funeral thing, where it's like a direct cremation. Now, Amy, my dad, you got to talk about it, cock. You got to talk about it. You got to sit there. You got to have these policies. You've got to make sure if anything happens, you know where they are, and this is what we want. And I'm like, point I'm coming to is, how do you guys feel about this new thing that everybody's saying? And I think you told me something about somebody who said you should talk about death and
Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson, wasn't it? He said you should sort of embrace it because I know the old saying goes, it's the only thing you've got guarantee. But he's like, you are living every day toward it. How are you guys in discussing death? And do you think it is a good thing to educate your children early on or wait until they discover it themselves? What's your opinion on that?
I think you should bring it to your kids because.
Do you remember when you was a kid? How did you find out about it?
I think like one of my pets died or something or other. I don't know. I guess I was just told about it. It's sort of when I think, okay, I watched a lot of films. I wasn't like hidden from it as a kid. Like, no, Lee, you cannot watch a film where people are killed.
Yeah.
And my dad was like, come on, Lee, let's watch Die Hard. I was like 4. He's like, sit down, son, let's watch Rambo. Yeah, like, Dad, it's amazing.
Was you took to funerals from an early age?
I went to my great nan's. Say my great nan. And my nickname for her was Funny Nana because it was my granddad's nan. My granddad's mum, sorry. It's the only way I could differentiate all my nans and grands because she was quite funny, always laughing. So I called her me Funny Nana. And yeah, I went to hers and my great grand's, which was my grand's mum. Yeah, I wasn't hidden from it all. Because
when I found out about it, I went off the rails as a child. Like, this is where it all stemmed from, me worrying about like death, anxiety, whatever. When I found out my mum would die, I was like, Mum, are we going to go together? Can we go together? I don't want you to go without me. And I was always like this all throughout my younger days. And I just thought, I'd love to know your guys' opinion on how do you feel about it? Like, do you think you accepted it as you've got older? Do you think that you are more like, as you get into your 80s sort of age, do you sort of not scared and you're more like live your life, don't stress about it?
I think I was more like, look, we're all gonna. That's the only thing I say. So you can be as rich as you want. Elon Musk he's just spent like 200 billion or whatever it is on this bloody Twitter. He can be as rich as he wants to be. We all go the same way unless he ends up being like turned into a robot one day or frozen. We're all going to die.
He'll probably do it if anyone will.
We are all going to go, unfortunately. And, you know, there's only 2 guarantees, 3 guarantees you got. You're born, you pay your taxes, as they say in America, and you die. And that's it. You ain't got no say in any of that. So, I was a lot more accepting. But the last few months, I have thought, so for God's sake, it's getting a bit closer, isn't it, really? I'm regretting.
I did wonder how you'd feel after... Because obviously you was upset with your gran, but it seems to have hit you more with your granddad. I was just wondering, do you feel any different about that whole thing?
I just look at my gran and grandma as a kid and think, Christ, they've been around forever. Like, not in a bad way. But
they look the same, don't they?
When I was born, they was already in their late 50s. And when you think of your own life, if you're in your 30s, you think, Christ, my life has gone on forever. So then you think like they'd already had 50 odd years before our lives started. You think that was forever. But then you consider, hang on, last year, I remember last Christmas. I remember the Christmas before. And the one before that. It's flying by. Like it seems like it's gone in an instant. So in that respect, it's going too bloody quick. But no, I ain't scared of it all. We'll get to it when it comes.
Yeah, it's a very hard thing, I think, when you lose someone slightly more significant to you, that's been a big part of your life. And sometimes when you see your parents or your family members in so much pain, you kind of think, oh, I've welcomed it in the respect that you don't want them to be in pain. But I definitely think, so what I've heard, when you get a lot older, like my mum will go, well, what'll be will be. What's the point in worrying about it? Now, me, you're very much like, you've always been like that, haven't you?
Yeah, but
this time it's not due for 6, your granddad.
Because I haven't lost people close to me yet. Like, proper close. Grandparents, yeah, obviously. But I mean really close, as in like AIM, my mum, my dad, Tia, them sort of people. That's when it'll get me. But we'll get to that bridge when we get to it. Cross that bridge when we get to it.
Get to the bridge.
Yeah, when we get to that bridge, we'll get to it. No, what we'll get to right now, though, is some more entertaining stories. So, in America, I'm out. There is... I like to think that I'm an easygoing person and not... Well, I say that, I probably would disagree. You know, like in this country, everyone... Well, not everyone, but there's a few people a bit nuts. Like, they're like protests for any old reason.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, climate change. Let's super glue ourselves to the road. That makes sense.
And that was a doctor.
Yeah, well, there was a lot of them did it, though, weren't they? Bloody tools. I hope they've stopped now. I bet they have. Now the weather's got better. They're like, yeah, sod it. You know, I'd rather go to the beach or whatever. Enjoy the sun whilst we got it. There's a people in America. There's a lot of people in America. But at Starbucks, I mean, I like my coffee the same as much as the next person. Mm-hmm. But I would not go this far over a protest over coffee. So in America, they have started... I don't know if it's soy milk or oat. I think it's oat milk. Before I get it wrong, it was oat milk. In Starbucks, if you order like a latte or a coffee or whatever with oat milk, you are charged slightly extra. Let's say it's an extra $1, extra 50p in this country, whatever it might be. People have started going into Starbucks and super gluing their hands to the counter in protest over the extra charge. Like, why should we pay extra for oat milk when other people pay less for semi-skimmed? And then they super glue their hands to the counter and say, we're not moving until you reduce the charges on the oat milk. But the customers, the staff are like, yeah, our choice. It's Mr. Starbuck above us. He told us to do it.
For a start off, it's logical sense, really, because when you have animal milk, there is a process.
Exactly.
But oat milk is going to be damn harder to dispense out of a blooming oat than it is.
I didn't think you'd get that straight away, Em. That was one of the... You got something on you.
Piece of coleslaw.
Go on,
Why are you looking at me like I'm the world's cleverest bitch? I'm just saying, it's going to be a lot more of a expensive process to get milk out of oats.
Yeah,
than it is out of a cow.
Because I heard, like, quite intelligent people talk about this the other day, and they said that. And now there you are, repeating what they've said about hearing what they said. So, I mean, bloody hell, my aim is quite intelligent. That's quite well thought out, aim. So, obviously, for skim milk, you go to your cow, oink, oink, get it out. For oat milk, it takes forever to get them to work. So, I think, like, they checked it out how you do it. It goes in, like, water for months.
Because if you have whole milk, semi-skimmed, and then the red milk is...
whole milk.
No,
semi-skimmed is green, and
skimmed
red
is
skimmed, yeah.
So whole milk is blue, semi-skimmed is green, and skimmed is red. If you actually think about skim milk, that's going to be a bigger process than whole milk, because they have to extract more sort of fat and everything out of the milk than they would whole milk. So if you look at that process alone with just basic milk, from whole to semi-skimmed to skimmed, how on earth do these people not realise it's going to be more of an expensive process, i.e. why is soy milk, oat milk and oat bottle of milk.
Exactly.
It's just logic.
It is, Amon. I like how you got to that logical solution and answer in your head. I've got the answer. Stop being a fussy bastard and just drink normal milk like the rest of us.
Or, except you've got to pay if you do not want to drink animal milk.
I mean, I tried it once. I tried almond milk. I'm sure it was almond milk. Not oat milk, but the almond one. I got it from Aldi or Lidl.
I didn't mind it.
I weren't a big fan. Apparently, the oat milk, because it's like made out of oat, is very creamy. I've never had that.
And the thing is, I've heard before, why is vegan food and vegetarian food more expensive than processed food? Well, if you think about it, let's take a sausage for an example. If you're going to buy really cheap pound Asda 20 Smart Price sausages, or you're going to buy them heck ones that are like, what, £3 odd, or the farm factory sausages, whatever they're called. It's all a case of ingredients and the process of it all. It's exactly the same with fresher produce. So if you're going to buy a ready meal, which we've previously done a video of, a Weight Watchers example, or a ready meal just from down the shop, because there's more fresh ingredients in it, it's going to be more expensive. And that's the case, isn't it, with vegan food, vegetarian food? It's a lot healthier, therefore fresher produce. That's why processed food like from Iceland and things like that is so cheap. Because if you want quality, you've got to pay more. Simple as that.
And if you didn't have more expensive items in the world, like your Waitrose food, etc., Brandon, big man, if you didn't have your Waitrose food and stuff like that, then you wouldn't have a class divide. So poor people, i.e. poor people, and people just can't afford to shop at Waitrose, we shop at Lidl, Aldi, Farm Foods, Asda. Posh people who can afford vegan pancakes and vegan sausage rolls and everything else vegan, and what's the other one? Glucose
It's
free.
like Marks and Spencer's, isn't it?
M&S, Waitrose, the posher places. Place I've never even heard of.
But it wouldn't make a difference if you bought Lidl almond milk or Marks and Spencer's. It's not about the quality,
Oh no, it's what's in that.
It's about the process. It's not as simple, cow's milk. It's on a worldwide industrial enormous scale. Far more animal milk gets sold more than vegan milk, let's say, for instance sake. So the process is a lot smaller than it would be for animal milk. Therefore, it's more expensive. But these people, do they honestly believe that getting a bit of super glue is going to make a worldwide difference?
No, it's just going to piss people off. Imagine that. Because people that go to Starbucks and Costa or not, when you see it on the films, I'm really not someone who does it. We've been to Costa on a handful of occasions. I like my own coffee. I don't want to spend £5 and 10 minutes trying to decide which coffee to get. So it's usually like people in a rush on the way to and from work or on the way to and from somewhere.
I mean, I just don't like coffee, so...
No, you don't, but they also do like, you like chocolates and whatnot.
No, I don't like that chocolate. I mean, I like a cup of tea, but
we'll go to Costa and get him a bottle of water and we go.
That's the truth. And you know what? It's as much as a coffee.
Well, yeah, they do some nice cakes though. Oh, the salted caramel shortcake, whatever that is, I get. Oh, that's amazing.
Mine.
No, it's not, but it's still pretty good. But it is like £4 a slice.
I could sell this stuff that I make.
Well,
people would buy it.
What are you waiting for? There's just too many angry people. No, that's what I think anyway.
I will say that I do think, if you buy a box of Yorkshire tea for about, £3-4 quid, you get 160. And then you go to like Starbucks, and it's probably the same with coffee, but it's a bit different there because it's ground coffee. The amount of money they charge. Lee ordered one once, and we'd never had one of these particular ones, and it came in a cup with 2 handles.
And that's what I'm saying, they confuse you. I would have a protest over the price of some of the coffees. So I went in, and it happens every time. So I start looking when I get to the back of the queue, and like everyone's in front of me, I'll start looking at the menu like, right, Lee, what do you want? Get it ready in your head. Start processing what I'm going to say. Because then I get scared when I get to the front. They're like, Okay, what would you like then, sir? And you look, if you haven't looked already and planned it, there's that many options. And I'm like, I don't know. And then you said, just a coffee, please. Well, what kind of coffee? Americano, a chili coffee, one of all these different things. Just a normal coffee. And do you want latte milk, soy milk, oat milk, almond milk, skim milk, full fat, whatever it comes with. Then that's why I even get into ordering names and cakes and stuff like that. And Ames bottled water. Just
ask for some boiling water and take your Nescafe with you.
Yeah, I like you little. You just get a pot of coffee. My gran and grandad sounds terrible, but it's probably not a good job they've got. I don't think they'd have coped with the modern world and the way it's moving on. So my gran and grandad used to complain. They'd go on holiday and they'd stop at a service station. They always go on coach holidays when they got to a certain age, rather than flying. And they'd stop at a service station, and when they come back from the holiday, right, Gran, and they've had us 7 days away in a lovely place. They used to go abroad on a coach, though, like over on the ferry, whatever they did. We got to lovely places in Greece and Italy, like Garda, I think it was in Italy. You had a nice holiday, Gran and Grandad. All these nice memories they probably have, and all these nice experiences they've had. You'll never believe it, Lee, or something like that. What's up, Gran? What happened? £2.50 for a pot of tea. Oh, we only got 2 cups out of it. These are people who buy a pack of sweets to take on a flight with them. So, you suck a pack of sweets, a sweet. They'd bring half a packet back and take it on the next holiday a year later.
That's no lie either.
Pack of Opal sweets would last them 3 holidays.
I think though, I often wonder about, you go in your town centre and you've got, the hot dog man or jacket potato man. And they charge you, all woman, you know what I mean? And it's £4.50. Do you realise how cheap you can actually make these things? It's like lipstick, right? Doesn't matter what the name is. Whether it's Charlotte Tilbury, Jacqueline Hill, MAC, blah, 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 blah. The actual wholesale price that they get that. And I pay sometimes 20 odd quid for a lipstick or whatever. And they can have it made so cheap. It is ridiculous how much.
Well, they use little factories, don't they? Countries that they have to pay a lot of money.
Amazon I can't even imagine.
I won't work for him. He'd do me head in.
Who, Jeff Bezos?
Yeah.
Why?
Put a watch on your wrist, please, Lee. Why is that? Because we want to monitor how many if they monitor how many times I go to the toilet a day, I'd get the sack after one day. I'd be just there on my phone, scrolling through Twitter and TikTok. All right, how are you doing? Something having an extra break on the toilet. Lee, don't think you should get back to work? No, I'm all right. End of the day, they get a little report from your watch. Lee, you've done 2 hours of work and 7 hours on the toilet. Yeah.
No word of a lie, when we go on holiday, and this was the last holiday, not the one where we went to Spain, but we went on holiday with my mum and took her to Turkey, first year she come out of hospital, and we kind of just knew we had to allocate time for Lee to be in the bathroom.
I get nervous. Don't know why I didn't used to.
This is when it happens, no word of a lie. Over the years, I've noticed a pattern. Christmas. Holidays.
Christmas?
Yeah, you do at Christmas. Christmas, holidays,
stressful situations.
It is definitely with you.
Yeah.
And you get nights out sometimes, you're up and down.
If I know we're going out on a out night out, and I know you don't want to use toilets in a pub and a club, they're just disgusting. So I always get nervous, oh no, what if I need the toilet whilst I'm out? I won't be able to go. It's just rough. So I'll back and forth to the toilet, back and forth. And then if we was out with Mum and Bob in Morecambe about 6 months or so ago, when we got touched up by a couple of swingers. And and I was back, I was really unwell. I went out for a nice steak dinner and was going out for a few drinks afterwards. And I was back and forth to the toilet. It's so awkward and you feel rough and can't start going to the toilet. And you're on a night out. And everyone's enjoying themselves. You're like, oh God, my stomach feels terrible.
And the problem is with this one place that we go to.
There's only one bloody toilet.
And it's right in the middle of so you got 2 aisles of seats and the toilets are at the end. You know who's gone in that toilet and how long they're in there for.
You see everyone going, you see everyone come out if you're looking in that direction. And I'll be back and forth.
I mean, it's a natural thing to go to the bathroom, but I have toilet anxiety.
I think the worst on trains and planes.
Oh.
When you come out and there's on trains, there's a queue of people on the train. waiting for the toilet. And if I'm not here, I've gone and I'm stood down watching this film, oh my God, this is embarrassing for them too.
It's you who goes to the bloody toilet.
No, but you have only gone for a pee, but it's still a bit awkward when you walk out with other people.
And I also hate walking in after someone's been to the toilet, but it's like the most natural thing to do. Everybody does it. There's no getting away from it. But if you need to go to the toilet whilst you are out, and I don't mean for, everybody else, it's horrific.
I feel sorry for you women, because at least as blokes, if we need just a wee or a pee, you can stand up, unless you're a bit odd and you sit down.
Yeah, but the problem is for you, you can't hide the fact that you go situations because you're expected as a guy to go to the urinal. If you're in the cubicle, we know what you're going for.
I'm that nervous when I'm in when I'm in a public toilet. I will purpose, if I've got my headphones, which I 9 times out of 10 do if we're out and about during the day, I'll put my headphones in, turn it up, when I know some blokes just walked into the toilet next to me, because they don't have no decency. Let me just say, us blokes are disgusting when we go to the toilet. Me, I try and keep it quiet. Oh, there's somebody in the next stall or next toilet. I'll keep it quiet. They don't. They let it all hang out.
Mate, come on now.
Anyway, finishing off the story, or the video, one quick story to tell Aim and see what she says, because you suffer from anxiety. It's about anxiety and work. We just talk about work. There was a bloke in America. I have borrowed this story. I've heard it recently on a podcast. I'm repeating it to you lot. There was a bloke in America, it was his birthday coming up, and everyone at work, they was going to throw a party, and he knew they were going to throw a party, and he said, please don't throw me a party. I get anxious, I
get that.
I don't like stepping out, being the centre of attention.
Everybody looking, yeah, it's you, and then you're like, what do I say?
Yeah, he didn't want to do it, and he just said to his friends, or his boss, whoever it was, look, here's my birthday, can we please just let it go? You don't have to do anything at all for me. I don't want a cake, I don't want a happy birthday sung to me, just let me do my day's work and go home. That's all I need to do. Comes in. Hey, happy birthday, Pete, whatever his name is. And man goes, turned around on his toes and legged it out the building. Ran away from this celebration he'd done for him. And he just didn't come back for the rest of the day. Come in the next day, I think it was. All right, mate, doing my day's work. Ooh. Feel a bit anxious because of what happened the day before. They all made him feel a bit awkward. His boss calls him in. All right, Pete, or whatever your name is, I'm afraid we're going to have to let you go. He's like,
what?
Why? Because we don't appreciate the fact we went to all this effort, bought a cake, arranged a little get-together for you, and you just ran off.
That's unlawful.
Yeah, dismissal.
Dismissal?
He had the last laugh. I can't remember if it was 600 grand or 6 million he got from him. He took him to court in America, and he got a huge pay. I think it's like 600 grand or something or other. He got a massive payout. And that just goes to show, people... don't fuck with people. If they've got
I've got a quick story just to tell you about something that my mum told me the other day about this guy. I can say, this is in England, and there's a man, and his employers and his work colleagues are so understanding. It's unbelievable. So, this guy has major anxiety, social fear. Major social anxiety about being in crowds of people and everything like that. And he works in an office environment. And every day, if he can't do things, he doesn't mind what anybody else does, but he has a ritual. He has to get there before anyone else, lay like his cup down, be very structured. People can say hello to him, but he doesn't want to talk. He'll have I hope you're all right. I'm just going to get on with things. And that is it. They'll leave him be. They'll send him a card. They'll send cards back. But he's so anxious. He has to have the same ritual at work every single day. And everyone's so respectful of him that's how he's able to work. Otherwise,
fair enough.
He spent like 10 years in the house. But that, like, he's done some sort of like rehabilitation into work or whatever you call it. And he now has such good colleagues. And this is what anxiety does. Do you know what I mean? Fancy sacking someone because they didn't want to... I'm sorry, but I'd get crazy.
There are some good bosses in the world, and there are some good people in the world who go out of the way to make other people feel better about themselves. There are people who just like to be an arse and, let's see if we can wind up Kevin today. Let's see if we can upset him today. And that they're just knobheads who are going to hell in a handcart.
Well, actually, that's it now. But there's this one, like, I've followed this girl on Instagram. And unfortunately, she's got terminal cancer, but she's living her life with her family and everything. And she was talking about, because the chemotherapy she's on is giving her, like, what she called a crusty nose. Like, it's giving her really, really bad dry skin.
Well, I get that all the time.
And somebody said to her, do you mind not talking about your crusty nails? We're not really interested in that. And all she was doing was giving like advice and what creams were working for her. And some ignorant, stupid little woman decided to message her and that. And she turned around to the woman back and she's like, oh, well, I'm so sorry, I'm trying to advise people with cancer how to help them out. Yeah. I mean, it's a struggle for me to get on here in itself. And this is how stupid people are. How bloody inconsiderate.
Yeah, I'd just block the idiot rather than responding.
Oh, I don't know. Anyway, I think the whole point is to be nice and kind, isn't it?
Yeah, and don't glue your hands to a counter of a milk. It's stupid. Stupid people. If you're watching, you're stupid. Behave. Been told.
I mean, it's all well and good having a good, quiet protest. That's fine for the right reasons. But I think some things are just a little bit far-fetched.
I mean, literally, they could have just gone in with their own oat milk and said, okay, you know what? I'm not going to pay you the extra $1 or whatever it is. I brought my own $1 carton of oat milk.
Yeah, leave the milk out. I'll put it in over here.
Yeah, just pop it aside for me. It ain't going to kill you. And each day, I'll come in, charge with the normal price of the coffee.
I'll just get a flask.
Drop of my milk.
Just get a flask. I mean, opposite our Costa, down where we go, this like retail centre, you've got Costa with the benches, and literally like about 6 foot away, you've got a public bench. Yeah. On a hot day, you'll see people there. I'd take a flask.
Why not?
Have your Nescafe. Have your own milk.
Oh, no, not Nescafe. I'm just an Asda guy, me, or Lidl. Lidl's own, doesn't
our tier has our own one. It's, what's her have? Kenko. Oh, really smooth.
Yeah, she's a fussy bugger as well. Your mum's a fussy bugger. We've got to wrap this up now, guys. I was on about before, you know, you get your PG tips for £1.50. Aim's mum spent, like, what, 15 quid on a box of tea bags?
Well, there was sport. My mum loves Yorkshire tea, but Yorkshire tea gold. And she loves them, and she couldn't get them in the shops around here. So my mum went on Amazon and she bulk buyed these, and she bought these tea bags. But now she's gone back onto normal Yorkshire tea. What is your favourite tea bag?
Or coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lee used to love tea, and now he can't even touch it.
I can't touch it. I don't know what it is. Honestly,
do you actually dislike it, or?
I could have one, but I'd find it that boring and tasteless. I'd get annoyed. Like, I feel like...
Who cannot like tea and toast? Now you have toast and coffee. Tea and toast?
I like dipping toast in tea. I couldn't do it in coffee. But there's just something about coffee. It feels like... Because I'm not an alcoholic in the slightest. I only drink on a weekend. It feels like my drug of choice. I don't smoke. So drinking coffee is my little go-to. Like, go have a coffee, Aim. Like a smack.
I mean, I like coffee. And I like tea. I'll drink about... Do you not kind of miss a cup of tea?
You have a cup of sugar with a dash of coffee. Let's be honest, mate. It's that much milk and sugar.
I don't like... I don't have a lot of milk. I like a strong cup of tea.
Coffee.
Oh, a lot of milk, yeah. I have to have sweet coffee. Not so much tea, but sweet coffee. And it is more hot milk and a dash of coffee. No. But could you not enjoy a nice cup of tea with a fried breakfast? That's, you know...
I can drink it. I'm not going to be ill from drinking it.
You used to really enjoy a cup of tea.
I know, now I'm really...
It's the same with tea.
I've even got into black coffee like the last couple of months. I've started to appreciate a black coffee. I drink more of that than normal coffee these days.
I wonder now if you go into like a Starbucks, if you ordered like a proper strong coffee.
No, I like that, you know, because the cost on when we go there always tastes funny. It's not a fan.
Because it's not instantly, that's why.
That's like what I like, which is pretty boring.
Anyway, guys, we're going to toodle pip, and this... What did you think, by the way?
Yeah, it was nice. I didn't eat the savoury rice, but...
Did you even eat a try?
No, I've had it when I was a kid. I just had it for... As a kid, I had it a lot with salads. No, it was nice. The chicken was lovely.
I never thought you'd ever met that when you was a child.
Yeah. What? My chips are amazing, even with soil on them.
I mean, muddy chips are just the one now.
Yeah, let's get down and muddy with the chips.
Yeah, it was really nice, guys. It was only a Maggi bag. It was the sweet Mexican one. If you want to try it for yourselves, it just takes a red pepper, a couple of onions, bit of salad, and Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. Yeah, Bob's actually my stepdad. Anyway, moving on from that, we're going to go. Laters. Sorry, I was just intrigued by that performance then. But anyway, we're gonna go, thanks for bearing with us as well, guys. We've got to say that to you because obviously we've had some messages saying like, where you been? But thank you so much, and we'll see you on the flip side. Yeah, we'll be in a pub near you soon eating breakfast on video. We won't, we'll be in Morecambe, but you never know. Well, if you're in Morecambe, we'll be near you. Okay, bye.